Heretics Anonymous by Katie Henry. Yeah, that's the book we're doing this week. I'm Antoinette Pongron. Welcome. Have a seat. Let's talk. So, my first YA comedy. It went great. I've never read a YA comedy before, but Chandra and I were browsing the bookshelves and I came across this title and the cover interested me and I read the blurb and it stuck with me. So I got the audiobook and I read it and I loved it. So let's get into it. First off, pacing here, it's fun. It has a steady flow but a little pep in its step that just keeps me happy, keeps me content. It never slows down, but it does just leave enough room for the emotions to work. That you're not rushing over anything. Really, really good. And then the style, not what I expected from YA. Usually YA has this tendency of looking down on its readers. No, not here. And no silly jokes either. No fart jokes, for example. So I was pleasantly surprised. I did not expect to love this book as much as I did. So that leads us right into the sugar of it. Best compliment I could give a comedy. The best part about this book was the humor, the witty dialogue between characters, because it's just my type of thing. Smart, intelligent, I know more facts than you do humor, or like maths humor, because I'm weird like that. It was really great, and the way they just made fun of things by making smart connections. I don't know how to describe comedy, but it worked, and it was my type of comedy, and I felt like I was listening to two of my friends chat when I read this. I felt really at home in this sense of humor of this writer. And then the vinegar, it didn't bother me, but in retrospect, it's not very realistic. These kids are supposed to be in high school, and they have their lives much more together than anybody I know who's old. So, as I said, not a problem. I felt right at home. Didn't feel like high school though. Would I recommend? If you love witty humor, yes. If you just want really sweet high school romance, yes. It's really sweet. The plot, it's unique, but it's not the selling point here. The selling point is really the interaction and the characters themselves. So, yes, I just this. So, an atheist, a feminist, a pagan, a Jew, and a hippie walk into a bar. Nope. Walk into a Catholic high school, and hilarity ensues. That is the premise to the story. Can you even? So, we have a lot of characters, obviously. It's a high school. We have to deal with the whole class antagonist, protagonist, random people who don't really care. It's realistic in that there aren't that many clicks. It's a realistic high school movie, but the characters are not that realistic. So we have Michael, who's an atheist with daddy issues. Okay, he's still fine. Then we have Lucy, who's Catholic but a feminist, which is still fine. She has some mommy issues, but she's really sure of herself. Like, she's fighting the patriarchy and everything, but she never second guesses herself. And she's not sure of herself in like an arrogant way. She's sure of herself in that she's always right. She has this feminist theory under her belt. She also knows all her saints. She has her identity sorted. And that's when we get to the Jew, Alfie. So he's a Jew, which makes him a heretic, of course, but he's also gay and 17 and has no issues around that identity. He's gay and he's cool with it. So that's why I say it's a bit unrealistic. There are grown men of 35 only figuring out their identities now. Was it a different time? Sure. Might it have been more difficult for them to discover these things about themselves growing up? Yeah, but 17? It's really young to be that sure about something that complicated. So it really felt like these characters were 26 in how sure of themselves and their own identity and exactly who they are. These are fully formed adult minds in teenage bodies, and that's probably why they're rebelling. It's just, this is not a story about identity, even though there are a lot of different identities at play here. None of them struggle with that identity. It's easy as breathing. Alfie's main issue in his life is that his parents love him too much. Sorry? But it is a problem because they kind of coddle him a little bit. But he's cool with being gay. And I said it's a vinegar because it's not realistic, but oh my word, can we just live in that world where everybody just knows who they are from the womb and they're cool with it? No finding your identity, no struggling with who and what you are. Just after high school, you got this. It it just seems like a simpler world, and I kind of like that. But I also like that the focus wasn't on their identity, not at all. The focus was more on them as people who also happen to have these identities coming together and fighting the system. So let's get into the plot. So Michael is new and he's an atheist, and Lucy speaks up in class about how all the female saints had rebelled and were not good little church girls at all. Which, yeah, it's true. You wouldn't have been written up in the book if you were a good little church girl who stayed at home and listened to your husband, would you? No. So Michael sees this girl and he thinks, sure, another atheist. Yes, let's make friends. And he soon discovers that she's not an atheist, and he gets to join the club of Heretics Anonymous. And they come together in the basement of the school and they complain about LGBT issues and feminism and dress code and all types of valid but very high school complaints. And then they decide to do something about it. They have these mini rebellions. So the first one is a purity culture video, which gave me PTSD. They did the whole female, you are this tape. You are not sticky anymore, and thus you suck. We all know what that is. So they did that, and then they played a video. And then Heretics Anonymous had stolen and edited that video. So instead of saying that STDs can pass through condoms, they give actual information and real stats about how effective what types of contraceptives are and the like. So it's nice. It's nice to see that type of just, it's a very optimistic novel. And then the next little thing they do is dress code. They attack dress code. So nowhere in the rules does it say that you're not allowed to wear colored laces. So they buy a bunch of colored laces and spread it throughout the school and fight the system. And it's yeah, a good, fun read. If you're having a bad month, this is sure to cheer you up. So, between these little ways of fighting the system, Heretics Anonymous is not, it's not about the system. And it's not about, it's not about their identities either. It's about finding your people, finding solidarity in a harsh world. It's such an optimistic look at the mix between very conservative ideas and new identities and new people forging themselves and being okay in who they are. There's never a point where Michael questions whether or not he's an atheist. There's never a point where Lucy questions whether she might be that unsticky tape. There's never a point that Alfie blames himself for being gay. There's no issues. But the system is still broken. The personal issues are gone, but their teachers still get fired for being gay. And it's kind of an optimistic look at that. Very Gen Z, if I have to say so myself. It's kind of like, okay, the world sucks. What are we going to do about it? Where can we stick in neon green laces to make the world just a little bit of a brighter place? And that message, I don't think you can get any better than that. Okay, well. So, that was a very optimistic, very short video for the end of the year, which is a bit tough for a lot of people. So, let's spread the joy in the comment section. If you watch the video up to here, will you send me a little heart? Any one of the random colors. If you send red, you're boring. Try again. I'm gonna post a green one myself, favorite color, and I'll see you next week. Bye!